when they talked about having this, I thought, well, I'll be there with the 5 other people that come, and we'll have a sandwich, or so. Like, why don't we just do it at the BT and throw some darts? But I underestimated the strength of Carter at OBGYN and the you know, what it means to everybody. So I'm so happy to see y'all. I'm really kind of overwhelmed by the turnout. I'm just, it's just fantastic. So 77, Tenant Teeter rolled into town and opened Carter at OB. Solo practitioner. Pretty soon after that, Dr. Morrison came, and ever since then, slowly and steadily, this has grown into what it is today. It's really remarkable. I mean, the level of care that is provided to the women of this county, and now legitimately 3 counties, you know, Carteret, Craven, and Onslow, is something I would never have dreamed. I really wouldn't. The number of services that we have that we never would have thought about as a small OBGYN practice, mammogram, bone density, just urodynamics, these things that people would have to travel quite a ways to get, or to get in maybe a less optimal setting. We do all those stuff. Our ultrasound is like, if there were a competition for ultrasounds, we would be in the nationals every year. I have no doubt. It's just amazing, and it's all here in a little practice at the end of the earth. And you know, it's been a long time growing this, but it's been a long, steady growth from 1 doctor to now 7 and 8 nurse practitioners and all the ancillary staff that goes along with it. And I really feel like everyone is just dedicated to providing the best service that there is. And really on every level. I mean, I'm impressed and humbled from the check-in on up. So for that, I think y'all can be proud. If you've been here 1 year or 44 years, it doesn't matter. You've all been part of that growth and should be proud of it. And I think it shows in everything we do. You know, I mean, if you just compare some of the stories from other practices that are well respected, you know, just the level of service, the level of follow-up, quality of the interactions, I think are just nowhere in comparison. The spa is fantastic. Gives Julia an endless supply of Botox. So thank you for that. But anyway, again, you know, when you decide how to spend your time and your work life and everything, you want to be proud, and you want it to be meaningful, and you want it to count for something. And I think everybody here can look in the mirror and be very proud. Through all this, one person has been quite consistent, and I think handled every possible scenario, every possible situation, every bit of drama, every physician meltdown as perfectly as could be. Cindy Knox. You would say, who is Carter at OBGYN? It's Cindy Knox. Yeah. We all just work in her world. When the kids, you know, were little, they'd say, well, so can you ask your boss, Cindy, if you can come to my game or whatever it is? And that wasn't an exaggeration. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I think Cindy should say a word or two, but this will be going into the Cindy Knox is going to cry portion of
I will say we are all family, and I think we have. It's all right. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. But we are all family, and that's why we're all here, past and present. And I think it says a lot for the ones that have shown up in the past, because they have been with us and started the practice, and the ones who are present are taking us to the future. So I'm very proud to call you my family. You're my children. We have all kinds of stories, but we'll keep those for another time. Leslie's shaking her head for sure. But thank you for coming. Edwina's going to read a word from Dr. Teeter, and then we will have a blessing and we will have dinner. So thank you again for coming.
I'm Edwina Johnston. I was a registered nurse at Carteret OBGYN for 20 years with Dr. Teeter, who started the practice. He cannot be here tonight, but he wrote some words, and I'm going to try to make it through this, okay? Today we are celebrating 45 years of Carteret OBGYN. The people gathered here are an amazing group. You're a part of a wonderful family that continues as a leading Carteret County healthcare provider. Compassionate care for others and open doors to all continues to be the cornerstone of this medical office. You are community leaders embodying concepts of working for the good of others. You provide care for a very special family event, pregnancy care and delivering babies. You may believe that several important others and I began this office, but you are mistaken. The 56 years of marriage to my wife Pam and our 4 years of going steady, beginning at age 16, started everything. Her dedication to family and me has been a blessing. Pam worked in Chapel Hill at the School of Public Health, the Governor's Highway Safety Program, and the office of William Friday on the UNC Chapel campus, while I was in school preparing for our trip to Carteret County. Through my years of practice and retirement, Pam continues to be my rock. You may again believe that I helped begin this medical practice, but wrong again. Pam and I were driving along the North Carolina coast in the spring of 1977, trying to find a place to raise our family and for me to start work. Our last stop was Carteret County. During our stay at the Oceana Motel, I walked out on the fishing pier. At the end of the pier, I found a lady fishing and we began to talk. She was late, middle-aged, wearing blue jeans rolled up to her knees and tennis shoes with no socks. She lived in Salter Path. She asked about my profession and where we were from. I told her Pam and I had completed my residency in OBGYN at the Medical College of Virginia and were looking for a place to begin working and raise family. She walked close to me and said, "Come here, we need you." And so it began. We began a very humble fashion, a 4-room office, 3 employees, a used medical equipment from a retiring physician in Newburgh. A 20-year-old redhead gal began working up front. She quickly began guiding us through the process of running a medical office, eventually becoming our expert practice manager. Her skills and education accomplishments are too numerous to list and impossible to replicate. I will never forget the times early on when insurance companies were very slow to respond to our filed claims. At several points, we weren't going to meet employees' payroll. I don't know how she did it, but Cindy would go to John Sibbles at Wachovia, who provided us with several gap loans for our payroll. Cindy Knox has been with us on this journey from one time, or with all of us on this journey for one time, and her husband Tommy is now my valued golf partner. Edwina Johnston, who is reading this, was my nurse. Through those 20 years with the office, keeping the ship steady and calming and reassuring the patients. Her nursing and people skills were remarkable. The office childbirth classes she developed and conducted were unparalleled. My appreciation and gratitude are never ending. I'm not forgetting to mention the caring physicians on staff who are guiding the lights of Carteret OBGYN. Its foundation has always been the dedicated nurses and office staff.
Here, here.
I just want to say that from us, from the past, we are still so proud of Carteret OB-GYN and what y'all have made it in the present. It was a family when we started, and I think from this I can tell it's still a family. And that's important for taking care of the women of this county. I was sitting back and reflecting the other day, and I realized I started at Carteret OB-GYN when I was younger, but with just needing OB care, GYN care. So I got birth control pills. Then I had my babies there. Then Dr. Fidelis and them found my breast cancer and saved my life then. Now, all 4 of my grandbabies have come from there. So my life has just been blessed by Carteret OB-GYN. Y'all have a good evening, enjoy times, listen to the stories, because we have a lot to tell. Vicki?